Hello again. I had my second infusion of Enhertu 3 weeks ago, and I was supposed to have one yesterday. Things have gone a little awry this week, so we had to put it off for another week. And part of that is I'm very winded all the time. I just came up from switching laundry, and I'm still having a hard time catching my breath, which I didn't even carry up a load. So I need to get another echocardiogram. We just don't know if this is causing left ventricle weakness. My pulse ox is fine, my blood pressure's fine, even after I walk up and down the hallway. But then something's happening, and we've got to figure out what that is. We're gonna switch this to every 4 weeks instead of every 3 weeks, because this is not a life. I sit in the house all day, every day, and it is not how I want to spend my summer. So one thing I have been doing while I've been sitting is a lot of Ancestry.com. And I just found out my great-grandfather was arrested during Prohibition for having alcohol in the bar that he ran. Nobody in my family has ever said that. I mean, this is worth it while I have nothing else going on, but it's not easy. You know, some days are better than others. Today, I'm just having a hard time catching my breath. Anyway, yeah, I'm a little down and out. I really wanted to do the infusion yesterday, and I was also really afraid to do the infusion yesterday. I have blood clots in my arms from the IV, so those needed time to settle down, and they are. Hopefully one more week they'll be gone for good, and we'll start all over. But I was afraid to do my port too, so I canceled that appointment because I was like, if I can't tolerate this, which at the time it really felt like I couldn't. Now I'm like kicking myself going, I could have taken one more hit for another extra week. Yeah, I really wish I could have done it because I want my numbers to tank as far as they can before we leave for Alaska for the long haul, which will be May 30th. So we're gonna try to make the side effects less. And if that doesn't work, I may just take a break through the summer because today I got my tumor markers from Wednesday's blood test and I've dropped another 40 points. We have a shared note, Tim and I. He's away on a work trip right now. He's on his way home, but he got to go because I didn't have my infusions. I put the numbers in the note and he called me right away and he's like, so is there anything new you want to tell me? We were both just laughing and crying and oh my gosh, 40-point drop. I've dropped 80 points in 6 weeks. The tiny number that only goes up to like 9, right? That dropped down to 4.4. It went down like half. I've also dropped 10 pounds in 6 weeks. So that was not my intent. My body is just not doing what it used to do. So the dogs are ringing the doorbell. I think I need to go let them in. Yes, our dogs have a doorbell and they know how to use it. We had to cancel our 1-week hooligan run trip to Alaska. We were going to leave on April 28th, 7 days away from home, 4 of which are travel. But Tim's knee is not healing as quickly as we had hoped, and so he's in a lot of pain still. It's getting better, but him walking for 2 days through airports from gate to gate, not going to be okay. And I can't flip the laundry. So I can't do it either. So I'm really sad. A friend asked me, will it be harder or easier if she sends me videos of the sea lions coming in and all the things? And she didn't, but somebody else sent me some videos and yeah, it's sad. It's sad. You know, it happens once a year for a week. And I mean, my numbers look good. It looks like I could do this next year. Maybe we drive and we don't have to worry about dog care because that also became a bit of a problem. Murphy had a hard time laying down for like 2 hours the other morning. The two of us were not in great shape to be taking care of a 150-pound Newfoundland, but we got him in the rig and we drove him 2 hours to Massachusetts, to Tufts University, to their ER because the local ER here for dogs was filled. And it was scary. He was drooling and panting, and just every time he'd start to lay down, he'd get this hitch, and we couldn't tell where the pain was coming from, and he'd come right back up, and the poor dog could just not lay down. It was tough to get him in the rig. It was tough to get him comfortable. And then we got there, and he laid down on his bed in the ER, and he was so excited to see all the people, and his vitals were good. And we still had to wait another hour or more for him to be seen. But every time somebody came by, he got up and he laid back down. And after an hour of that, I looked at Tim and I was like, I think we ought to take our dog home. So he's been fine since, but we realized that, dog care, now that they're getting trickier, being older, and they're already so structurally compromised since puppyhood, this is becoming a pretty precarious time for them too. Challenge after challenge, but he's happy and healthy now. When I had those headaches the first time and ended up hospitalized because they were messing with my cognitive ability, I had this company reach out to me. They're called ZenoWell. There we go. And they have this little gizmo, and I'm not going to turn my channel into a commercial, I promise you. But I was so desperate for headache relief that wasn't more medication in my system. And this thing is pretty cool. It has this little earpiece, goes in your left ear. You put a little bit of a spritz of water, and then you put it in there, and it just gives, I'm going to show you on this side because get my wig out of the way. This little part of your ear right here, it gives it a little tingle, and it's supposed to stimulate the vagus nerve. You can control how strong the signal is, anywhere from 1 to 10. And the cord just comes out here, and then it goes into your ear. This thing arrived. And it's interesting that it took 2 weeks to come off the headaches, my first infusion, and this infusion, it only took me 1 week. I'm very curious to see what happens next time. We're going to switch my pre-medication, my anti-nausea, because my anti-nausea was notorious for causing headaches. So it's not an apples to apples from this infusion to the next, but it was between the first two. I'm excited to know that this is something I can do without adding more drugs to my system. I'm going to let you know how it works next week when I have my infusions, because that's when the headaches would come back. If any of you have had an experience with it, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Hey, change of venue. I had a little downward spiral, so I'm taking a break. But I did want to tell you, while I've been sitting here like this for the past 6 weeks, I did my taxes, which normally wouldn't be a fun thing, but I had to export all my data from my website. And when I did, I found out how many of you left me these beautiful notes when you bought my artwork. I could not believe that I missed so much because I get a copy of the receipt, but I didn't look so carefully other than the pictures of what you bought, and they're just these tiny little pictures. So I didn't see so many of your messages. Well, because you left those for me, I've now got a love notes page on my website, and you're probably in it. I was able to put one of the images that you bought with the words that you said. And so thank you so much for helping me build this testimonial page. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am, because honestly, I am pretty unemployable right now. And the art that I make is the only thing that I have to contribute to my household. And honestly, I made that whole video about Haynes and visiting for the Eagles. I spent months putting that together and the images that I put up for sale, and I made a $3 profit. So that was a big kick in the teeth. This boosted me so much. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to say goodbye for now. This is a real quick hit and run. But I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.